Decision Plus has been and still is a leading stock market service provider. From training to coaching, we cover it all. Try both our software as well as our coaching site, completely free for 10 days without obligation. No credit card is needed to sign up for the trial. The trial subscription will be automatically canceled for you at the end. DecisionPlus.com, your stock market service center. Real-time coaching has been created. We search and classify critical reports and technical movements. You can visualize or hear the best buying and selling opportunities. Get real-time advice all day long and 3 live coaching shows per day. Let us do the work and save your time for trading. Try MarketGurus.tv free without obligation for 10 days in the menus above. Market Vision Plus is the trading companion of so many investors. Make your fundamental and technical analysis easy with Canada's #1 stock market decision-making software. Research, decide, and follow your positions with Market Vision Plus. See the menus just above this program and try Market Vision Plus for 10 days without any obligation after the show. When it comes to day trading, Trader Plus is the right tool. Track 50 quotes simultaneously. Create dozens of quick lists. Display as many as 30 real-time intraday charts at the same time. Watch the action with candlesticks or bar charts as fast as 10 seconds. See the market by sectors. Use the chart models already prepared for you. Try Trader Plus for 10 days in the menu above without any obligation.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Swing Trading Show. Today we're Friday, September 25th, 2015. The question bar is open, folks. If ever you have any questions, feel free to ask them. It's my last show at Decision Plus, so of course, folks, I expect you to ask me some questions if you have concerning some strategies that you would like to talk about or about a particular stock that you would like to me to give you my opinion on that stock. Now, if we take a look at the market situation today, we have that markets have rallied slightly, but the NASDAQ has been the index where the rally has been really short-lived compared to the other indices. And we were on MarketGurus.tv, we saw that this rebound could come. Around the 3:30 show yesterday, we talked about this on MarketGurus.tv because we saw the confirmation, technically speaking, we saw the confirmation of a bullish divergence because look at this. The SPY was making a new low, right? While the MACD was not. Actually, the MACD has a higher bottom, a lower bottom here and a higher bottom there. So that was a clearly bullish divergence, and that was the prelude of a rebound. Now, the fundamental factor today that helped yesterday's afternoon rebound to continue today are the statements by Janet Yellen. And what Janet Yellen has said is basically that the Fed, she expects the Fed to raise interest rate by the end of this year. And she also said that the inflationary pressures, which is something that is really important to determine the Fed's decision, she said that the inflationary pressures will continue to spike on in the next few years. So this is important that the Fed starts to raise interest rate if she actually wants to have some tools just in case at a certain point inflation goes down, so she can lower interest rate to bring the inflation back up. Because if inflation surge, we have to actually raise this interest rate to fight inflation, because that's part of the mission of the Fed. And she also said that what's happening in other emerging markets won't impact that much the US economic growth. Now, if we continue here with the situation in terms of the sectors, on MarketGurus.tv, we were watching the energy sector. We thought it could be a sector that could be interesting for a potential breakout, but finally, this upward momentum was really short-lived. The sector stayed totally neutral. A stock like Chicken Well Services is testing its support of August. Would that stock be an opportunity to buy eventually? Well, so far I'm seeing more sellers than buyers there on a stock like that. Look at this downward trend in the stochastic, so I would be really doubtful that this stock could stabilize around this price. Shawcor is showing also some weakness but continues to stay neutral. Enerflex, I think, is the one that is more that has more probability of potentially starting a breakout or being in a buying signal. But Enerflex, it's still neutral. It has to go above 13.22. Now, if you take a look at Parex Resources, we have Parex Resources that is testing its support below 870. Parex Resources is going to be a clear breakdown. And Crew Energy so far, it's a hold. If you bought Crew Energy here or there, it's a hold because the stock continues to maintain its upward trend. And never forget, the trend is your friend. Now, let's take a look also at gold, because gold was a sector that was, as I said, was interesting yesterday. Now today, the gold sector, with the rally that we had in the U.S. markets, the gold sector took a hit today. However, the hit was not strong enough, I would say, because if you take a look at this, if ever we had the markets that could have made a new high today, I would definitely think that the gold sector would have went down. The thing is, we had the GDP reading that came out today that shows the U.S. economy grows strong. If ever there continues to be higher inflation in the U.S., this is going to be positive for gold also. Now, I think the fact that Janet Yellen said that she could raise his interest rate, well, we had a slight correction on gold, but if there's more inflation, it's going to be positive for gold. So we need to watch the inflation numbers to see if the gold sector could maintain its upward momentum. Now, the strategy I laid out yesterday was, for instance, I want to take into account a stock I've talked about, a stock like Premier Gold Mines. It was in a clear buying signal yesterday. Now the stock is losing 0.80%. What was the strategy I laid out yesterday? What the strategy was like, if you're buying a gold stock, right, make sure that you put your stop loss, instead of putting it at 236 on a daily chart, put it if ever the stock loses all of today's gains. On a stock like Premier Gold, it didn't, so it's a hold. On a stock like that, you have to hold on to it. A stock like Kirkland Lake Gold, if you take a look at this chart here, if ever we lost all of today's gains, you should have put your stop loss. We didn't. The exit point is at 565. So far, the stock remains above 565. So our Kirkland Lake Gold, you have to tolerate that correction on a stock like that. Osisko Gold didn't break out yesterday. A stock like Sandstorm did break out slightly because it was maintaining its upward trend, broke out. But a stock like Sandstorm Gold, well, on a stock like that, it's different. I think right now you have to close your positions in Sandstorm Gold because all of yesterday's gains, we lost them on a stock like Sandstorm Gold. I know there's a slight support that's there at around 361, but I don't think that you should wait and have to tolerate a big correction because all this loss here, you have already lost 5.17%. So why should you risk losing more on a stock like SSL? That's a stock where I think you should actually close your positions if you bought some positions yesterday. So the gold sector downward momentum today is a situation where you could reduce some of your long exposure, not on all the stocks. I've shown you the stocks where you could continue to keep your position, especially the ones that are still keeping or their yesterday's gains or not losing all of their yesterday's gains. You can keep them, but a stock like Sandstorm Gold that lost all of its yesterday's gains, you have to close that positions. One strategy also that we have favored in Market Gurus TV is that when we saw that rebound, we were quick to take some profits on some short positions. Taking some profits, close some short positions. For instance, DCP Midstream Partners, we have already taken 2 rounds of profits since we recommended that stock as a short here. So we again close that positions again to avoid having to tolerate a strength of the rebound, because we had a rebound at opening that deflated, but we wanted to actually not having to tolerate a bigger loss on a stock like that. This is why we decided to close that position totally on DCP Midstream Partners. So we're going to take a short break, and after I'll be back in the next segment with some news and your questions. So that has been the only stock that we got rid of on MarketGurus.tv. Now, if we continue here with some news, what news do we have? We have in Japan, inflation numbers is negative, -0.1%. So Japan is back into deflation. Next week, we're going to have the employment report in the U.S. That's going to be really important to watch. In terms of the news, we have a news about Google. Nike released their earnings, so Nike is in a clear fire there for Nike, clear breakout there. Talking of Nike, it is in the consumer discretionary sector. BlackBerry, oh my God, BlackBerry took a big hit. They missed their earnings. They missed their revenues estimates. BlackBerry, the thing is with BlackBerry, they continue to generate some cash flow, positive cash flow, but the revenues have declined. So BlackBerry, it's really in a situation where I would say, according to the article I saw on Financial Post, it's a speed bump in their turnaround plan. So BlackBerry, it's not a buy at all, even if it's reaching a bottom. When a stock is, I'm not seeing any wave of buyers in a stock like that, I'll definitely avoid it. And especially on the earnings, though, I think you should let the wave pass, let the bearish momentum pass first before starting to get into a stock like BlackBerry. But right now, it's a clear downward trend that is maintained on a stock like that. The only sector I want to bring to your attention today, folks, is the consumer staples sector. It's the only sector today that is in a bullish cycle in the U.S. It's the consumer staples sector, so don't expect to have several stocks to make 5, 10, 15% in 2 days. It's not a sector that's volatile. It's a stable sector. So a lot of those stocks as well too have tops that are close. So for instance, General Mills, it's a buying signal because it's breaking out a resistance, right? So it's a buying signal, but there's a top that's there. But as long as the stock remains above $56, which is a support, it's a hold. So you're going to have to tolerate a correction at $59 or pause at $59 on a stock like General Mills. Coca-Cola, a clear breakout. What I love with that stock is that it's clearly reversing its downward trend. The stock could reach $41, so that's a target on a stock like that. Campbell Soup, it's one of the best technical pattern I love for a Campbell Soup group because it's clearly maintaining its upward trend. Estée Lauder, I kind of like it less because Estée Lauder, look at all those moving average that are there, so it's a stock I like less. So I would not favor a stock like that. Another stock, Altria Group, there's another top that's there. So just like the General Mills, it's a stock also that you have to take into account that it's you're not going to make a 5 or 10% at that top, but you're going to have to hold on to it as long as it maintains its upward trend. So as an exit point, I'll put my exit point at $54 on a stock like Altria Group. If you want access to the full list, it's all published on marketgurus.tv. So you can have access to that list because we have really published the movement. But overall, as I said, it's not a sector where you're going to make a 5, 10%. But if you want to get some exposure in the consumer staple sector in the US today, it's the timing to do so.
Find answers to your questions by emailing your host at btm@decisionplus.com.
5 good reasons to manage your investments with National Bank Direct Brokerage. Commission fees fixed at $9.95 anytime for all clients and starting at only $6.95 for active investors. No administrative fees if you hold at least $20,000 in your accounts. Registered accounts available in U.S. currency. Powerful tools to help you manage your portfolio. Award-winning customer service and satisfaction levels amongst the highest in the industry. To learn more, visit nbdb.ca or call us now.
Real-time coaching has been created. We search and classify critical reports and technical movements. You can visualize or hear the best buying and selling opportunities. Get real-time advice all day long and 3 live coaching shows per day. Let us do the work and save your time for trading. Try marketgurus.tv free without obligation for 10 days in the menus above.
So welcome back. It's just a breaking news I want to share with you guys. Volkswagen, if you take a look at this stock here, after taking a hit by 20%, that stock has named a new CEO. The new CEO is, I think, Mr. Muller. He was the CEO of Porsche, which is a division of Volkswagen. And right now, this stock so far is stabilizing. I'm not saying it's a go, but that stock is stabilizing. It's trading on the ETCBB and the OTC, not ETC, OTCBB. And this is the ticker of Volkswagen. So that stock so far is stabilizing. Now on to some statements. Thank David for this. Good luck in your future projects. Thanks a lot. You did a good job. Congratulations, and thank you very much for everything you did for us investors. Thank you for those kind words. Hi Chris, who are the portfolio managers of the Decision Plus portfolios? Who decides to buy and sell? Thank you. Well, it's the team here, the team of analysts. So when we recommend a stock, we put it in our analyst choice portfolio on marketgurus.tv. So this is actually here where we have the list of analyst choice, right? Every week we actually release the portfolio. What stocks do we have in our portfolio? And how do we take the decision to close or sell or buy or sell? Well, to sell our position or to take some profits, usually when we buy a stock, we set up some alarms, an alarm at 5% and an alarms at 6, 7, 8% or so. So this is actually the way that allow us to trigger. So we use the Trader Plus software. We set up some alarms on the stock that we chose, and after we say, okay, folks, this stock hit our alarm. What should we do with it? And together we look at the stock, all of us, and we give all of us our opinion. All of us will give our opinion, and we actually decide. So it's a teamwork where all of us we actually decide which stock should we put, how should we sell a stock, at what level should we sell a stock, and all this we're trying to take a global perspective to minimize our loss on the portfolio. So this is actually a key aspect. So sometimes we might get rid of a stock before it breaks its support, and that's actually a way for us to minimize the loss, so we don't have to tolerate the stock having to lose more, and this will impact our portfolio. So far, if you take a look at the analyst choice portfolio on marketgurus.tv, we have still had a return on investment that's above the market. So this is something that we want to commit to continue to do. Of course, there are some trades that are not, there's some months where we are not as great, but overall, we're trying to have a disciplined strategy. And this is by actually setting up some alarms on Trader Plus and actually having some discussion when a stock reaches an alarm. Now, is FF on venture a trustable buy for emerging company? I don't know if it's merging. I don't know. So is it a trustable buy? Well, first of all, I'm seeing a clear overbought situation on a stock like that, right? So I definitely don't like it. Now the good thing is that it's above, all the moving average are up, so this is something that's good. The 10-day has just crossed the 30-day moving average. Now if I put a retracement, you see that we have already reached almost 61.8% of all this decline. So usually the Fibonacci retracement is a good indicator to tell you when will the stock stop. So right now we see that the buyers are reluctant to get more into that stock. They're reluctant to let the stock rally more. So when you see a stock that has been rallying, actually it did stabilize. So what I would do, I would see if during the day can the stock make a new high higher than 43 cents, right? The good thing is the moving average that are all above. The good thing is also the volumes that are great on that stock. The bad thing are the stochastics that I don't like because it's overbought, and the bad thing is the moving the Fibonacci retracement, where I see there's a big congestions around those areas. So I don't like the fact that it's limited towards this area here on the Fibonacci retracement, but it's technically speaking, it's a breakout. I would only consider it as a great buy if it can at least stay above 43 cents right during the day. But you could also trend trade that stock, which means as long as it respects and stays within its upward trend, you hold on to it. And I would say your exit point could be around 37 cents, because 37 cents will go below that former resistance of July and August on a stock like First Mining Finance. But I don't know what they do, right? But I told you the good points that I love and also the points that I don't like on a stock like First Mining Finance. But right now, for me, it would not be a credible buy if it cannot go above 43 cents. Now, I want to share with you folks the day trade of the day. It's that stock here, Momo. It rallied, and now since then, we have seen a clear profit-taking opportunity. It's kind of normal with what's happening in the NASDAQ, but this was actually our best day trade of the day before 12. So you had one entry point here, one there, another one there, You have to be quick to take some profits. And actually, the thing you could use is that when you see a stock that is breaking out intraday wise, also take a look at the daily chart with the moving average. And you see that when the stock has reached 1371, that was exactly when the stock was testing its 100-day moving average. So that was actually a signal to tell you, folks, if you're getting into that entry point on a stock like that, when should you take some profits? Well, take a look at the daily chart, and that could give you a clue about when to take some profit. So right now, Momo is kind of too late to get into a stock like that, unless it goes above $13. But so far, we're seeing more selling pressure on a stock like that, and this 100-day moving average has been the point where the stock has stopped its rally. So folks, I wish you all a good weekend. It was a pleasure working at Decision Plus, sharing with you some information. I'm leaving a great team behind, but I'm sure that you guys will be in good hands for the rest of the shows that will follow my departure. So thank you guys again. It was really appreciated. I really love this adventure at Decision Plus. I really love your participation. You made the show so much interesting, folks. And I'm living with it's tough to say goodbye, but it's my time to say goodbye. So have a good trading, folks.